Hey everybody, my name is Misha and welcome back to my channel. Alright y'all, so as you can tell by the title of this video, I am going to finally go into detail of everything that I've done to prepare for my content exam, PPR, really how I take any exams. I kind of been using the strategy for a while when I was in college as well. So it's been something I've used for quite some time. I'm going to go into detail as much as I can go into detail because I can't give y'all the answers because I don't know what questions y'all are going to have on your exam. Plus, I can't give y'all the answers because y'all know I'll get in trouble. But anyway, I'm going to go into detail step by step of everything that I did, everything that I do to prepare myself for an exam that I might have. And also I would like to add that this is the same strategy because it doesn't just apply to certifications. As some of you know, I've mentioned in a previous video, I also have my real estate state license, and I use the same strategy to take that exam. So it could be applied to any type of test, and it's worked for me. So hopefully it could work for somebody out there that's watching this video. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the list, right? All right, so on my list, how I study for exams, the first thing I do is I go on YouTube, go on Google, and I look up what I can find that applies to the exam. So for me, for the content exam, I took the business finance content exam, and as some of you know that I mentioned, I couldn't find anything in relation to business finance. I seen it for different other subject matters, but when it came to business finance, I literally couldn't find anything. So that was the reason why I made the original video, because I'm like, I need to help somebody because I couldn't really find anything. But what I did find is test taking strategies on YouTube. So what I would probably do is probably link some of those videos in the description. You guys can go and click on that and see if that benefits you. So I do a YouTube search. I research and I listen to how the exam was for other people. Google as well. Sometimes you can find you could find kind of what outline a little bit. Now I know on TEA for your content, they're going to give you an outline of what the exam will be about. And also it gives you so on TEA and the certification where you go and apply for the test, it gives you a study plan worksheet. I don't know if you guys can see that, but this was mine. And on here I just put what subjects I was already familiar with, what I wasn't with, what I need to study on. So that kind of helped me kind of map out things a little more. So on to the next, because I don't want to get too ahead of myself. So next thing I did was I purchased a study guide from, I don't know if I say this right. I'm a country girl, so Mom Matrix is where I got my study guide from, and I'll insert the logo so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. Some of you may already have a study guide from them. They're pretty popular. And then also I purchased practice exams from Exam Edge, and you could get as many as you want. And you could retake them up to 5 times. I think I purchased the 5, and then I was able to, if I needed to, retake them, each of them up to 5 times. I didn't do all five times. I just did it until I was comfortable with how I felt as far as doing the test. Okay, so back to the study guide. So, like I said, I purchased a digital study guide. You could do a hard copy, but I didn't want to wait, and I didn't feel like driving around to different bookstores trying to find the physical study guide. So I purchased it online, so it's a PDF. And literally, guys, it's so crazy because I found this. This is literally all of this, these notes, and you see I put tabs and everything. I went through the whole study guide, and I wrote notes over the whole study guide. And I know what you're thinking, like, that's crazy, like you could have just read it. For me, I'm trying to give you guys some of my pointers. For me, when I write something, I remember it better. So I literally went through and I wrote notes for every section. Every section, just notes. And this took me a while. I don't even remember how long it took me, but it took me a while to write these notes. But it helped. It stuck in my head, so obviously it worked. And I just highlighted. And I believe in the study guide, it tells you like the chances of this item being in the exam, so that helps out a lot. I wrote down the domains. There were 4 for business and finance. So tech, app core. Oh wait, hold on. Wrong one. Cause I was doing. That's a quick story. So let me just say this. Some people had asked me, why did I only have one opportunity to take the business finance exam, and they made an exception. And I'll insert, if I should be able to find it, I'll insert where it shows I only had one chance to take it and I passed it. At first I was going to take the computer science and I was not feeling it at all. And I already talked about that in another video. And then when I called back, she said, you could call back and see if we have availability for you to take it. So I got back a few months later after trying to study for computer finance. I was not getting it. And I ended up being able to register and take the business finance instead of computer science. I'm sorry. So the domains in business finance was domain 1, domain 2, business management, domain 3, ethics, law, business, so on. 4 was tech and information systems, and 5 was leadership and career development. Like I said, I went through everything. So these are the domains. My handwriting isn't bad, so I'm glad y'all can't see it, but I wrote the whole study guide. I wrote notes over the whole study guide. And I went through and I reread my notes. And that is what helped me. That was the first, it helped me set a good foundation and studying. So the next thing I did was go to TExES, and I purchased some practice exams. Now I will say this, do not feel bad if you do not pass the first couple of times, because I didn't. And what I found after I took the exam, the actual official exam, TExES practice exams, to me, this is to me, were way more rigorous than the official exam. So for me, I feel like I was way more prepared because it was hard. And I was like, dang, I didn't pass the practice exam until like the 3rd or 4th time. And I was like, dang, I'm not ready. And then when I took the actual exam on test day, I was like, whoa, I know this. And I passed it. So the practice exams, I feel like really prepares you for whatever question they might ask you. So I think that was the point of that. All right. So I already talked about my notes. Like I said, go to TEA, look at exactly what domains, what is gonna cover. Things might change. I took my exam now like a year and a half ago, so things might have changed now. It might be different standards to different things, so make sure you're always going on TEA and you're checking, and make sure you're up to date on what you are supposed to be covering. And then I studied, I read, because I was taking computer science at first, and I was studying for that for like, I think a couple of months. And then I happened to call and see if I could go ahead and take the business, and I was. I think, I don't want to be wrong because I can't remember, but I probably have to look at an old video. But I think I studied for like a month or 3 weeks or something, and I was still able to cram it in and actually remember the stuff and pass it. So it works. You just gotta sit down, you gotta get away from the distractions, and you just gotta retain the information. And that is what worked for me. So next, so that's the first part. So let me talk about the next part. This is exam day. Okay, this is what I do. So you get there, you go, you got to give all your stuff on, all your extra stuff. You can't take anything inside the room. What I do before I begin anything is they give you the little white, the dry erase board. What I do is, and I'll show you guys, I make 3 columns, and I'll just draw this really quick. This is, I make 3 columns. One is gonna say no, for things I know. This is things I know 100%. This question I know 100% I got right. Then the next column is a maybe column. This is anything under 100%. This could be 90, I think 90, I'm about 90% sure. Anything under that, you put in your maybe column. And I'm talking about questions. So there's like 100 questions or so. And then the last column is I don't know. It's like 0%, I have no idea. This is, I don't want to say 0%, 50% down. How about that? But this is clueless. Like you have no idea I have no idea what the answer is. So what I do is I go through the exam, and you can mark for questions you want to come back to. So I go through, and what I do is the questions I know 100% I got right, I mark it. So you have your 3 columns, and I mark. Okay guys, I'm sorry about that. My camera stopped recording. But anyway, so like I was saying, picking up on my 3 columns, my first go through, for me, it's really you're looking through the questions. You're kind of trying to feel out what the flow is of the exam. But for me, if I read a question and I know 100%, I know this question, I know this answer, it's no second guessing, I 100% know, I go ahead and mark that in my no column. And then, like I said, there's a tab that you could come back to your questions if you're not 100% sure. I mark every question I am not 100% sure. So anything 99 and below, it's getting a mark to come back at the end of the first look through of the exam. So say 100 questions, maybe I have 45 questions that I'm like 100% I know. This is just a random number. And in my maybe column, maybe there is 20 and the rest is I don't know questions. You know, sometimes when you go through, now you might have some questions in your maybe column where you're like, man, I think I don't know. And we all know that sometimes another question will help you answer a question, right? So that's why it's good to go through the first time and then come back, right? So when I go back through the second time, always double check even your 100% questions, but don't second guess yourself. And I know that's kind of like, that don't make sense, but just make sure you reread and make sure, okay? It's not bad to make sure, but don't second guess yourself. But anyway, so the maybe questions. Sometimes when you go back through and you reread these questions and you've already read the questions for the rest of the exam, the answers are so obvious. A lot of those questions in that maybe column is going to get transferred to your 100% no column. Guarantee. It happens to me all the time. So you might have 45 in that column at first, but once you go back through, you might add another 15, 20 questions to your I know 100% for sure column. So, and I go through my tests no less than, I say like 4 or 5 times. And it's just process of rereading, thinking. And I will say this, when they tell you that the exam is perfect scenario, that's true. Don't think about like you're already in a classroom. Don't think about your classroom so much. Think about what you've read in the study guides, the perfect environment, that type of stuff, because that's how they want you to answer the question. So like I said, my 3 columns, you might start out with 45 in the 100% no column, but by the end, you might have about 80, 85, 100% no on your exam, in your no column. You have to pass with at least the 80 to pass the exam. So if you have about 80 or so, you're good. I know that's cutting it close, but sometimes in that you still might have some questions in that maybe column. And some of those questions, like I said, for me, that is 99% it now. That is, I don't know 100%. I think I kind of know, I'm pretty sure, but I don't want to count that as a for sure thing, and then I regret it later. So you might have 80 in there, you might have 10 more in the maybe, you might have like 5 or 6 in your I don't know column. To me, that's pretty good. And then you just, if you want to go back through again, do so. Like for me, like I said, I do it about 4 or 5 times. And then at the end, you just kind of say, hey, you have to have a certain amount of confidence. For me, it's I've tried my best. I've done my columns, and I think that this is good. So that's how I use the columns for me on my exam. But I definitely will tell you guys, take advantage of that. The tab to mark back, to come back to the questions. Take advantage of that. It helps me out so much. And like I said, not just for teaching and the content, but I've taken my real estate exam. I'll pass that. I've taken the PPR exam, and I'll pass that first attempt. So for me, it works. It's worked, and I'm going to continue to do it. PPR is, I feel like I'm probably gonna have to make a different video for PPR, because PPR was something that actually I really did not study for. I think I just took what I had in the experience I had in my classroom, because I just finished my first year teaching in my own classroom, second year in the classroom, but first year in my own classroom, and it was enough for me to pass. I kind of skimmed through some stuff like the day before. I found a video about what to expect on it, and it was enough to help me pass the PPR. So that in a nutshell is how I take the exam, my experience was with studying for the content exam, and my strategy for my test taking. I really hope that this is gonna help somebody. And if it does, like, you guys let me know, like drop a comment, hit me up on Instagram, and subscribe to my channel, because I think giving out videos or information about test taking is obviously beneficial to many people, because like I said, I've gotten so many messages, especially on Instagram, and it was crazy, like all the time, from a video I did over a year ago. I just literally got a message last week about it. And now I've kind of just copy and pasted what I've said to other people as far as what I've used. But I hope that this video, I promised somebody that one of the people that messaged me, I told him, hey, I'm gonna do a video, drop it within a week. This is for you and everybody else. But I really hope that this was beneficial to you guys. If you have any more questions, please let me know. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, please. Please subscribe to my channel, guys. I'm trying to get to that 1,000 subscribers, and drop a comment and share the video, okay? I'm glad you guys clicked, and best wishes on testing, and I really hope you guys have a great day. See you next time. Bye.